Just knocking around the zoo on a Friday afternoon. Things look a little different this year. We got rid of the sheet metal that was lining the side. This electric does a lot more. Well, they won't even dare try to jump over it, which is cool. We tried planting before the warning of the frost. Didn't really get a frost, but I got down to 36. And you can see the tomatoes. First line of tomatoes kind of took, but that's all right. The spinach made it through, the romaine made it through, the broccoli and the cabbage and the cauliflower and some other cabbage. A lot of cabbage down that row, and some more spinach and some red leaf lettuce. That's good. That went in before that warning also. This plant seems to be doing better, and that's, I don't know. We're going to see. I think these are going to come back a little bit. We're going to plant a lot more tomatoes. Down the bottom, where we did a lot of soil amendment with hay and cow manure, compost, there's a line like right about right here. Goes across. You can see it's a lot darker, a lot richer. We did till that in just to spread it around. We've got potatoes planted down there, and we have a couple rows of corn planted so far on the far side. Could do a lot more corn. I'm trying to think if we got anything else down there with the potatoes. I don't think so. We're gonna try to make the garden pretty this year. I don't know. Looks a little rough, but for the amount of labor that's involved, I think it looks pretty good. It's not an easy thing. And over here, Boots and Bowser, they're the muscadine crew. Muscadines are starting to leaf up. I would love to be able to trellis up. Like you can see, there's a vine system that goes on. Watch out, Boots, don't hit me. He's pushing me into the fence. Hey, come on, guy. You knock it off, knock it off. What are you doing? My buddies. My buddies. Well, you can see there's an old root system. Comes up, main, cut it out, Bubba. And it goes along. Like to work that. We put one vine that we pulled out of a tree. Come on, Boots, now it's getting crazy. Cut it out. There was some trees there where this green is. We cut a few trees out, and this is just, that's how fast it grows in 1 year. So anyway, we pulled a vine out. You can see that it goes up, and it creates some nice shade on top of the run. It would be nice to trellis this up. We're going to put some posts under this. We're going to recover as much muscadine as we think feasible. There's some good garden space down here, but there's also some old established muscadine runs that we're going to try to capitalize on, and I don't know, it goes on and on. I mean, if you just focused on this, that's all you would be doing. You wouldn't be able to do any of the other stuff. So big improvements. Bootsy likes it underneath there. There's like a little cave. I'd like to lift that up and make it like a cave that you could walk under. This be a pathway. Bootsy's pushing on me, trying to hyperextend my knee into the fence. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. We were just trimming the stuff that he couldn't reach. Another come up we got here is we got water. Instead of running the hose down from the well house up there, you can see the hose on the tree. That was our junction. You can see we run the hose down to the garden. So now we can do garden watering right from here. Chicken's going to be self-sustaining. We got to finish up on this project. That holds a couple 100 gallons or more, and we're going to do a PVC waterer. It'll constantly run in there. They'll always have water. And we're going to be stealing this compost out of here. They've been making that all for basically the last year. We took some out, but there's a lot in there. That's probably a foot deep or more over in that area, and that's going to go in the rows and around the crops. So this is a little more of that muscadine. This is the other side of it. Just trimming this stuff out. All that's got to come down. That all grew from in a year. There's the stump of it. We're gonna have to cut that down to the ground. Those stumps. We didn't really have a chainsaw at the time. We used what we had. So a lot of work. So we have the net. The chickens love it. They kind of, this is their little exposure to the other chickens, so everybody can say hello. Not sure how Rudy, the rooster, will act. They took a chick that we, well, it's another story, I guess. Well, I'll tell you the story now. Went to Tractor Supply and bought some white hens. These are supposedly Amberlinks. I think they're an Amberlink. So saw some Amberlinks for sale. These are our OGs. There's only 3 left. 3? 2 or 3. Jeez, I'm gonna find out now. But great hens, friendly. 1, 2. See that one? She's hunched over. I don't know if she's got trouble going on. I'm gonna check on her afterwards. She should be upright like that. I think we are down to 2. We had 4, then 3, and then 1 died overnight in that one of the cold nights. But it might have, I don't know. It was like an egg halfway out. I think it died laying an egg, honestly. About a year old. Anyway, kind of Boots, you distracted me, man. You distracted me, man. So anyway, the Amberlinks, got the 2 here. We wanted to, you know, they're a nice disposition, so we wanted to get more. And got some, and then 1 died, so we went back to replace it, and then they didn't have any more of those, so we got this thing called a California White, is what they told us. He's being nursed. You can see his butt is a little wounded. All the other chickens started to pick on him, or her. So the California White grows 3 times as fast as the other little guys, and he looks oddly familiar. We think it's a Cornish cross, the way the body's growing faster than the feathers can keep up. Just the general look. So the other chicks must have been picking on it because it eats a lot. So I don't know. So we put it with the bigger chickens. The smaller chickens were attacking it. Put it with the bigger chickens and they instantly went after it. So I don't know. This guy, we thought it was an egg layer. It's a meat bird. Made friends with it. It comes to you. So it might be a mascot. We might see how big it grows. We're not going to feed it like we feed a real meat bird. But yeah, my niece has some. They're over a year old. And 1 actually laid an egg. They're not designed to, they grow fast. They take all their protein and make, you know, meat with it. Meat and fat. But I don't know. It's a happy bird. It lives with the other birds. It doesn't know it's a meat bird. That one doesn't know it's a meat bird. We're not going to tell it. That hen with a bad back, that was saved from a dog. Found that bird way out back. Thought it was dead. All of a sudden it winked at me. We grabbed it, nursed it back to health, and the whole back was opened up. And one of those white hens, it's still here because it has a toe that's bent backwards. That was another save from a precarious situation. So when they've been around or they got something the matter with them, we kind of look at them differently. You know, we got a goat that we got. She's a little sickly, turns more into a goat rescue than a goat breeding proposition. So she's here. Let's look in on Mama Hen. Oh yeah, she's doing a good job. Does better than the incubator and the brooder. Look at her, she's digging a little nest in the corner. Look at her go. So instinctive. So instinctive. We tried to sneak a couple more eggs under her. She's like, nah, these aren't mine. And so we took them out. But she's a good mom. She was part of a chicken rescue operation. She's a game hen. We're not, you know, she lays some eggs, but these are all her eggs, by the way. Her eggs were a little white, creamy white. So anything that was creamy white, we just let her keep. She kept putting them all in the same nest, and she was there every day, so we just let her go for it. And now she's got 10 chicks. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nature's a cool thing. These guys, that was bottle fed. Poor brother got ill and had to get put down. And there's Bootsy. He's the OG goat. And we got some more goats that we're going to breed them with down the road. Some more. He's a Nigerian dwarf mix, and he's a he's a pygmy goat mix. He's a Nigerian dwarf mix, and that's what the other goat is. Let's see if I can get there quick enough. So yeah, come up. Instead of running the hose across the yard and coiling it up every time you go to mow, we get that trench dug in. And the cool thing about being in Alabama, you know, everything's semi-temporary, but there's barely a foot in the ground. There's no, someday maybe there'll be a freeze here and frost in the ground, but New Hampshire would be having that 3 feet down minimum. Let's go see. A little greenhouse, just a temporary situation. It's worked good. There's our compost. We've been taking a little bit out, making a pile where the chickens are working on it. This has a lot of stuff in it, but it's amazing how fast it all dissolves. Threw a potato in there, it started to grow. Threw some onions in there, they started to grow. It's amazing, nature again. So we've been collecting stuff. We've collected most all this stuff's been free. Let's see. Well, I was going to show you something in between, but let's get over to these goats. We're kind of spread out, but that's good. I don't want everybody stepping on everybody. There's 2 pigs living there, 2 females. They're going to be processed. We made a junk run. There was all kinds of junk from in the woods. You can see there's still some junk there, but we think we can make a use for that. Some of it's trash that has to go to a dump, but we went to the scrapyard. I was saving that tub too. That's going to be a trough, water trough. But there was a big pile of scrap and nasty stuff. I figured we'd get $35-40 for it. Ended up, there was an air conditioning coil there and 3 or 4 batteries, and that all added up. By the time we were done, it was $150. So went to the feed store and got some fencing stuff, and there we go. Plus that stimulus came in, and some people buy guns, some people buy a house, some people buy goats. So that's a mom. Oh, she's finally getting friendly. It's amazing what food does. She's getting spoiled right away. And those are her babies. They're about 3 months old. They're eating hay. They're not really nursing on mom. I think her bag's gone down a lot. But I think they're about 3 months old. I'm glad. I didn't want to bottle feed them. So 2 babies. They're both girls. And she's a pygmy cross. So this is some future Woody Acres progeny. Yeah, how you doing? I don't have a name for her yet. It's going to have to begin with a B because she's a last year's goat. This will come in handy down the road when you're like, how old's that goat? Like, what's her name? You know, so she'll be with a B. And these guys are going to be with a C, 2 females. And kind of left that open for now. They're in quarantine. Pretty soon they'll be out. They're not going to go in with the bucks because they will want to mate with them. And no. And then there's Bianca. She's doing good. She's the one that turned into a rescue goat situation. She ended up having a miscarriage here, like a couple weeks after we got her. And it looked like, I forget, I think it was like a 60-day, I don't know, it was a 4-inch long fetus. And so it had to be for a while. But there's like plastic siding in there and cedar logs, a couple vacuum cleaners. This is going to be eventually parking. You got those trees will go out of there. Parking, and it would be nice to have a dumpster here, I'll tell you. This is all the nuts from this tree. Best I can figure, it's a hickory tree. But you can't walk barefoot over here. The little balls that hit the ground, and if you try to run on them, they're like ball bearings. Here's one. This part of the nut from the inside. But you can't run on them. You'll die. And if you fall on them, you land on them, they hurt. But I think they always rake them over there from this pathway that goes out to the front. And that's deep, deep compost. But there's other crap in it like glass and metal, and I think it was a burn pile too. So that's not garden material. And there's a bunch of little stumps in there that get taken out. And just future thoughts. When I look around this place, I see stuff that might happen in the future. Cool stuff. Like this is going to get cleaned up. There's some cactus in here. And some, I don't know what those are. I don't think they're agave, but they're kind of a cactusy. They're here and there on the property. I want to kind of dress this area up. And so there's paddock 1. Once she's kind of in quarantine too until we figure out. She's put on weight. She's gonna get shots this weekend. Tomorrow, the next day, I got somebody, a goat person that's coming by, gonna give her some shots from more parasite control. So we're thinking maybe with all that she's gone through, she's probably a little anemic because she's not putting on the weight. So she might have a parasite that's still working on her. She eats, she drinks, she runs around. She drags the leg, which, you know, I don't know if it's muscle weakness or neurological or whatever. But breeding goat gone, pet goat. So Woody Acres, where farm animals go to become pets. No, that's not true. Ask a chicken. And these guys keep finding me stuff. I know I keep saying that. I got to get in there and pick out these bottles. And they do dig up stuff. I don't know what was there that was plasticky, but we found a swing set in the woods. We found cans and hello. What's up, my friend? What's up? One is a lot smaller than the other, but it seems to be growing well, but we'll see. We'll find out in the end. I got another 5 or 6 weeks to go. Right? They have fun. They run through. They frolic. Not too many pigs around. I've never seen them have the woods like this until I started watching some YouTube stuff. They're taking back this woods. This was a thick tangle you couldn't even have got through. I wouldn't. This time of year, you can't see my neighbor's house. So it just gives you the option to do what you want with the woods. Maybe make it silvo pasture or whatever. You know. A lot of changes. I remember looking at this structure here. There was another shed that was here and another shed that was here. We tore it down last April, and you can hear me saying I see chicken coops. Well, that was actually even before that. This is brooder 2. There's a bunch of birds in here. This silver laced Wyandotte. They're really pretty. There's some golden laced Wyandotte. There's some Woody Acres chickens. That's a Barred Rock, maybe Barred Rock Amberlink with a white. But there's a few different things in here. See that little white one drinking or actually eating grain? That chick's a couple days older than that big one that you were just looking at. That's a third the size. That's an egg layer. That's going to be an Amberlink, pretty sure. That's what the other one was going to be, the California white. Well, I'm rambling. I thought maybe you'd take a little walk around the farm. That's what's going on. And this Franny. If you can find a home for this sweet girl, she fetches. She listens pretty much. She just wants to be the only dog, and she'll go attack any of my other females instantly. The other females can walk right through here. She don't mess with them when she's in this little ring of hers. Like, she'll play with the puppies. So she's got a quality of life, but she doesn't get to explore freely like the other guys. If she was the only dog here, she would, but she's dog number 7. Whoa. And hello, Franny. You're so nice. She wants to be dog number 1. Well, I don't know. She'll fetch. She's the second dog here to fetch. Now they're all starting to learn. And hopefully a lawnmower comes soon. Used to be a tree there. Rambling. This was all in the woods. That was all in the woods. We're reclaiming it, taking it back. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again.